Throughout history, royal palaces and castles have symbolized power, wealth, and architectural grandeur. Today, many of these royal residences continue to awe visitors with their blend of history, legend, and sheer beauty. Join us on a journey through centuries of heritage and splendor as we reveal the most breathtaking royal residences around the globe. We began in the sun-drenched plains of Andalusia, Spain, home to the Royal Alcazar of Seville. The story of the Royal Alcazar begins in the 10th century when the ruling Caliph of Cordoba ordered the construction of a fortress in Seville to serve as a government seat. When Christian forces led by King Ferdinand III of Castile conquered Seville in 1248, the Alcazar was repurposed as a royal palace. The palace is a sprawling complex featuring various halls, courtyards and gardens, each with unique architectural and historical significance. The courtyard of the Maidens, surrounded by delicate horseshoe arches and ornate mudéjar decorations, is the centerpiece of the palace. Its tranquil reflecting pool and elaborate tilework make it a prime example of the harmonious blend of Islamic and Christian artistry. One of the most magnificent rooms in the Alcazar, the Hall of Ambassadors, is renowned for its golden dome, intricate wooden latticework, and stunning geometric designs. This hall served as the main throne room during King Pedro I's reign and was where he greeted visiting dignitaries. The gardens of the Royal Alcazar are as captivating as the palace itself. Expansive and meticulously designed, they reflect influences from Moorish, Renaissance, and even English gardening styles. Spread over multiple terraces, the gardens feature fragrant orange and lemon trees, bubbling fountains and shady arbours that create a tranquil contrast to the ornate interiors of the palace. Royal Alcazar remains an active residence for the Spanish royal family, making it one of the oldest functioning royal palaces in Europe. Nestled high in the Carpathian Mountains of Romania, like a secret whispered amongst the peaks, lies Peles Castle. The castle was commissioned by King Carol I of Romania in 1873. Carol I, originally a German prince, ascended to the Romanian throne in 1866 and quickly fell in love with the Carpathian landscape. Peles was the first castle in Europe to be entirely lit by electricity, powered by its own on-site power plant. It was also fitted with central heating, indoor plumbing, and even a central vacuum system, an impressive innovation at the time. The castle is a marvel of architectural fusion, incorporating various European styles into a cohesive, beautiful structure. Primarily built in the Neo-Renaissance style, it also has Gothic Revival and Baroque elements, creating an appearance that is both grand and intricate. Upon entering, you are greeted by the grandiose Great Hall, adorned with walnut wood paneling, beautifully carved ceilings, and stained glass windows. The hall is filled with statues and decorative elements, each telling a story of European art and history. Decorated in Indian style, the music room was a favourite of Queen Elizabeth, wife of King Carol I. Known for her love of the arts, Queen Elizabeth hosted musical performances here, making it a cultural hub for the Romanian court. The castle is surrounded by beautifully landscaped gardens featuring statues, fountains and stone pathways that provide a serene, picturesque setting. The gardens were designed with elements inspired by Italian Renaissance gardens, which add a touch of elegance to the wild Carpathian landscape. We travel now to Tuscany, in the vibrant city of Florence, a place where art and culture flourished under the patronage of a powerful family, the Medici. Their influence, like the River Arno that winds through the city, touched every aspect of Florentine life, from banking and commerce to the very soul of the Renaissance. And it is here, overlooking the bustling city, that we find the Palazzo Pitti, a sprawling palace that embodies the Medici's ambition and their profound impact on the world. The Palazzo Pitti was commissioned in 1458 by Luca Pitti, a wealthy Florentine banker and an ardent supporter of Cosimo de' Medici. Pitti desired a residence that would rival the grandeur of the Medici palaces, symbolizing his wealth and influence. The Pitti family, however, could not sustain their lavish lifestyle and fell into financial ruin. In 1549, Eleonora di Toledo, wife of Duke Cosimo V de' Medici, purchased the palace. This acquisition marked the beginning of the Medici family's transformation of the Palazzo Pitti into a grand ducal residence. Under the Medici's patronage, the Palazzo Pitti underwent significant renovations. The grand facade, characterized by its rusticated stonework, was expanded, and new wings were added. The Boboli Gardens, a masterpiece of landscape architecture, were laid out in the 16th century. They became a prototype for European formal gardens, featuring terraced lawns, elaborate fountains, and classical sculptures. The Palazzo Pitti's most notable feature is the Palatine Gallery, housed on the main floor of the palace. The gallery boasts an extensive collection of Renaissance and Baroque paintings, including masterpieces by Raphael, Titian, and Rubens. From the rolling hills of Italy, we journey to the sun-baked plains of Andalusia, to the Alhambra, where Islamic art and architecture reached their zenith. Perched on the rolling hills of Granada, Spain, the Alhambra stands as a majestic testament to the region's rich Moorish history and architectural brilliance. The Alhambra's history dates back to the mid-13th century. It served as the royal palace and fortress of the Nasrid dynasty, the last Muslim rulers in Spain. The name Alhambra comes from Arabic and means the Red Fortress, a reference to the reddish hue of the walls built from local clay. The Alhambra's architecture is a stunning example of Islamic art and design, blending seamlessly with the natural landscape. The oldest part of the Alhambra, the Alcazaba, served as the military stronghold. Its towers, including the iconic Torre de la Vela, offer breathtaking views of Granada and the surrounding Sierra Nevada mountains. The Nasrid palaces are a series of interconnected courtyards and halls, each more exquisite than the last. One of them is the Palace of the Lions, famous for its central courtyard and the intricate Fountain of the Lions. No exploration of the Alhambra would be complete without venturing into the Generalife, the summer palace and gardens designed as an earthly paradise for the Nasrid rulers. Here, the sound of water is ever present, cascading from fountains, flowing through channels, and reflecting the sunlight that dapples the meticulously manicured gardens. High in the Bavarian Alps of southern Germany, nestled amongst the clouds, sits a site that seems plucked straight from the pages of a children's storybook. This is Neuschwanstein Castle, a masterpiece of 19th century Romanesque revival architecture, and a testament to the fantastical vision of its creator, King Ludwig II of Bavaria. Unlike the imposing fortresses of old, built for war and defense, Neuschwanstein was conceived as a whimsical retreat, a tribute to the operas of Richard Wagner and the romantic ideals of a bygone era. Construction began in 1869, but sadly, King Ludwig would only live to see a fraction of his dream realized. He died in 1886, leaving the castle unfinished. Yet, even in its incomplete state, Neuschwanstein captivates the imagination. The castle's exterior is characterized by its towering turrets, battlements, and picturesque balconies. The limestone facade gleams against the backdrop of lush forests and snow-capped mountains, creating a postcard-perfect scene. The interior is equally spectacular, with richly decorated rooms that reflect Ludwig's admiration for Wagnerian themes. The throne hall, a grand two-story room inspired by Byzantine churches, complete with a mosaic floor, chandeliers, and an empty throne platform, as Ludwig died before a throne could be placed. Reflecting Gothic design, the king's bedroom boasts intricate woodwork and a painted ceiling illustrating scenes from the legend of Tristan and Isolde. Though King Ludwig did not live to see his vision fully realized, Neuschwanstein Castle has become one of the most visited castles in Europe. Walt Disney found inspiration here for the Sleeping Beauty Castle and later Cinderella Castle, cementing its status as a symbol of fairy tales and fantasy. We journey now to the vibrant city of Jaipur, in the heart of Rajasthan, India, where a most extraordinary palace graces the bustling street scene. Known as the Hawa Mahal, or Palace of the Winds, this five-story structure is an architectural marvel, a symphony in pink sandstone that seems to shimmer under the desert sun. Constructed in 1799 by Maharaja Sawai Pratap Singh, the Hawa Mahal was not intended as a residence in the traditional sense. Instead, it served as an opulent extension of the city palace, a place where the royal women, confined by the strictures of purdah, could observe the bustling city life. In those days, the purdah system was prevalent and royal women were not allowed to appear in public without face coverings. The Hawa Mahal, with its 953 small windows, or jharokas, allowed them to watch everyday life and festive processions on the streets without being seen. Its facade, resembling the crown of Krishna, the Hindu god, is an elaborate five-story structure that mimics the honeycomb of a beehive. The most striking feature of the palace is its front facade, which is adorned with intricate latticework, ornate balconies and arched roofs. The interior is relatively simple compared to its ornate exterior. The palace comprises chambers, corridors and terraces. The top three floors are just a single room thick, and the upper two floors have only one room each, creating a labyrinth of small, narrow passages and steep ramps. The palace is built from red and pink sandstone, in keeping with the characteristic colour scheme of Jaipur, which is often referred to as the Pink City. The name Hawa Mahal is truly apt, as the structure is ingeniously designed to facilitate maximum airflow. The jharokas ensure that the palace remains cool even during the scorching summer months, providing a natural air conditioning effect. We travel to the heart of France, just 50 kilometers southeast of Paris, where we find the magnificent Palace of Fontainebleau. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a testament to 8 centuries of French history, a place where kings and emperors have walked. It was here that Napoleon Bonaparte bid farewell to his loyal imperial guard before his exile to Elba. The origins of the Palace of Fontainebleau date back to the 12th century, when it was a royal hunting lodge. It wasn't until the reign of Francis I in the early 16th century that Fontainebleau was transformed into a grand palace. The Palace of Fontainebleau is a blend of Renaissance and classical architectural styles, showcasing the evolution of French royal taste over the centuries. The courtyard of honour is framed by elegant facades and the iconic horseshoe-shaped staircase designed during the reign of Louis XIII. Known for its beautifully painted ceiling and sumptuous decor, the Chapel of the Trinity was the site of royal weddings and baptisms. Fontainebleau is the only palace in France to still have its original throne room, used by Napoleon Bonaparte. The room is a testament to the emperor's grandiose vision, complete with rich red and gold furnishings and imperial symbols. Our journey now takes us to Russia, to the grand city of St. Petersburg, where the river Neva flows gracefully towards the Baltic Sea. Here, on the banks of this majestic river, stands the Winter Palace, a testament to the power and grandeur of the Russian Tsars. The Winter Palace's story begins in the early 18th century with Peter the Great, the founder of St. Petersburg. He established the city as Russia's new capital in 1703, and by 1711 he commissioned the construction of the original Winter Palace. However, it was Empress Elizabeth, Peter's daughter, who transformed the palace into the grand structure we see today. The palace's striking green and white facade is adorned with ornate columns, statues, and intricate mouldings. The building stretches over 200 meters along the Neva River, creating a majestic presence. The grand staircase is one of the most iconic features of the Winter Palace. Its opulent marble steps, gilded decorations, and magnificent frescoes epitomize the extravagance of the Russian court. The throne room, also known as St. George's Hall, is used for state ceremonies and official receptions. It features a stunning coffered ceiling, elaborate chandeliers, and a grand throne symbolizing the power and authority of the Russian emperors. The storming of the Winter Palace on October 25, 1917, by Bolshevik forces is one of the most famous events of the Russian Revolution. This event led to the overthrow of the provisional government and the establishment of Soviet rule. Since 1917, the Winter Palace has been part of the State Hermitage Museum. The museum houses an extensive collection of art, including works by Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt and Michelangelo, making it one of the most significant cultural institutions in the world. Our exploration of royal palaces now takes us to the Far East, to the heart of China, where we encounter a complex so vast, so grand, it is known simply as the Forbidden City. Hidden behind towering walls and crimson gates, this sprawling complex of palaces, courtyards and gardens was the seat of imperial power for over 5 centuries. The construction of the Forbidden City began in 1406 during the reign of the Yongle Emperor of the Ming dynasty and was completed in 1420. The name Forbidden City reflects its status as a restricted area, where commoners were not allowed to enter without special permission. The complex was the political and ceremonial center of Chinese government for centuries, housing 24 emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties until the abdication of the last emperor, Puyi, in 1912. The Forbidden City is an architectural marvel, encompassing 980 surviving buildings over 180 acres. Its design reflects traditional Chinese palatial architecture, characterized by wooden structures, yellow glazed roof tiles and red walls. The main entrance to the Forbidden City, this imposing gate leads to the outer and inner courts. It was used for significant ceremonial occasions and grand imperial announcements. The largest and most important hall is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This structure served as the venue for major state events, including the emperor's enthronement and wedding ceremonies. The principal residence of the emperor, the Palace of Heavenly Purity, showcases the opulence of imperial life with its intricately carved wooden beams and lavish furnishings. Located at the northern end of the Forbidden City, the Imperial Garden offers a tranquil retreat with its ancient trees, rockeries and pavilions, demonstrating the Chinese appreciation for natural beauty and harmony. We go now to the southern tip of India, to the vibrant city of Mysore, where amidst a landscape of rolling hills and lush gardens, we find the magnificent Mysore Palace. This architectural gem, a harmonious blend of Hindu, Islamic, Rajput and Gothic styles, stands as a testament to the rich cultural heritage of South India. The history of Mysore Palace dates back to the 14th century when the Wadiyars, a prominent local dynasty, established their rule over the region. The original palace built by the Wadiyars was a wooden structure, which unfortunately burned down in 1897 during a wedding ceremony. The present palace was commissioned by Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV and designed by the British architect Henry Irwin. The Wadiyars ruled the kingdom of Mysore for over 6 centuries, with Mysore Palace serving as their primary residence. The palace's exterior is characterized by its majestic domes, arches and colonnades. The central arch is flanked by 2 smaller arches, and above the central arch is a beautiful sculptural representation of goddess Gaya Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, prosperity and good luck, flanked by her elephants. The interiors of the palace are equally stunning, with intricate craftsmanship and lavish decorations. The Durbar Hall, with its ornate ceiling and chandeliers, and the Kalyana Mantapa wedding hall, with its stained glass ceilings and mosaic floors, are some of the highlights. One of the most spectacular sights is the palace illuminated by nearly 100,000 light bulbs during the annual Dasara festival, and on Sundays and public holidays. This breathtaking view attracts thousands of visitors and adds to the palace's. Perched on the Seraglio Point, overlooking the Bosphorus Strait and the Golden Horn, Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, Turkey, is a magnificent symbol of the Ottoman Empire's power and grandeur. As the primary residence of the Ottoman sultans for nearly 400 years, this sprawling complex is a testament to the opulence, intrigue, and artistic achievements of one of history's most influential empires. The construction of Topkapi Palace began in 1459, shortly after the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople by Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror. He sought to establish a grand imperial residence that would reflect the empire's might and provide a strategic vantage point over the city and its waterways. The palace is a sprawling complex that covers approximately 400,000 square meters. Its architecture is a blend of Ottoman, Persian, and Islamic styles characterized by grandeur, intricate details, and harmonious layouts. Enderun Courtyard is the heart of the palace, accessible only to the Sultan and select court members. It includes the audience chamber, where the Sultan received ambassadors and dignitaries, and the treasury, home to the palace's most valuable treasures. One of the most intriguing sections of the palace, the harem, was the private living quarters of the Sultan's family, including his wives, concubines, and children. It is a labyrinth of ornate rooms and corridors, reflecting the complex and secluded lives of its inhabitants. Topkapi Palace houses an extraordinary collection of treasures, including the Topkapi dagger, adorned with emeralds, and the spoonmaker's diamond, one of the world's largest diamonds at 86 carats. Nestled in the heart of the Loire Valley, the Château de Chambord is one of France's most iconic and magnificent castles. The château was commissioned by King Francis I in 1519, shortly after his return from military campaigns in Italy, where he was inspired by the Renaissance architecture he encountered. Construction of the château took place over several decades, with contributions from some of the era's most renowned architects and artists. The château's exterior is characterized by its elaborate rooftop with a stunning array of spires, chimneys, and dormer windows. The central keep, or donjon, is surrounded by 4 large bastion towers, creating an imposing and symmetrical layout. One of the most remarkable features of Chambord is its double helix staircase, believed to have been influenced by Leonardo da Vinci. This ingenious design consists of 2 spirals that ascend 3 floors without ever meeting, allowing people to go up and down simultaneously without crossing paths. The interior of Chambord is equally impressive, with grand apartments that were designed to accommodate the king and his court. The rooms are adorned with intricate woodwork, frescoes, and tapestries, reflecting the luxurious lifestyle of the French nobility. Surrounding the chateau are extensive hunting grounds enclosed by a 32-kilometre-long wall, the largest enclosed park in Europe. The grounds were used for royal hunting parties, which were an important aspect of courtly life during the Renaissance. Our journey continues in Sintra, Portugal, a town nestled amidst the verdant hills not far from the Atlantic coast. Here, perched atop a craggy peak, stands the National Palace of Pena, a whimsical masterpiece that seems to have sprung from the pages of a fairy tale. This architectural marvel, a riot of vibrant colours and eclectic styles, is a relatively recent addition to the landscape, built in the 19th century on the ruins of a Geronimos monastery, severely damaged by the Great Lisbon earthquake of 1755. Its vibrant hues of yellow, red and purple, a stark contrast against the lush greenery surrounding it, are a testament to the romantic spirit that inspired its creation. King Ferdinand II, a patron of the arts and sciences, envisioned the palace as a summer residence for the Portuguese royal family. He spared no expense in its construction, employing the finest architects and artisans to create a palace that would reflect his eclectic taste and romantic ideals. The palace's design is a captivating blend of architectural styles, seamlessly merging Gothic elements with Islamic influences, Renaissance motifs with Manueline flourishes. This eclectic mix, far from appearing chaotic, creates a sense of playful harmony, a testament to the skill of the architects and the vision of King Ferdinand II. Our quest now takes us to the heart of France, to the Palace of Versailles, a sprawling complex of buildings, gardens and fountains that embodies the grandeur and opulence of the French monarchy. Originally a hunting lodge built by King Louis XIII, Versailles was transformed by his son, Louis XIV, into a dazzling palace meant to showcase the absolute power of the French monarchy. No expense was spared in its construction, and the palace quickly became a symbol of France's wealth and influence. The palace's facade, stretching over 610 metres, is a masterpiece of French Baroque architecture. Its symmetrical design, adorned with countless statues, columns and gilded details, creates an imposing yet harmonious impression, reflecting the order and control Louis XIV sought to impose on his kingdom. Beyond its imposing exterior, Versailles houses a treasure trove of art and history. Perhaps the most famous room in the palace, the Hall of Mirrors, stretches over 70 metres and features 357 mirrors, reflecting the light from the windows opposite. This breathtaking gallery served as a venue for court ceremonies and state occasions. The Royal Palace of Madrid, a vision of gleaming white stone and shimmering gold, stands as a testament to Spain's rich history and architectural prowess. Constructed in the 18th century on the site of a former Moorish fortress, the palace has witnessed centuries of royal ceremonies, lavish celebrations, and significant historical events. Its vast size, encompassing over 135,000 square meters and containing over 3,000 rooms, reflects the grandeur and power of the Spanish monarchy. It houses the Royal Armoury, one of the most significant collections of arms and armour in the world, featuring pieces dating back to the 13th century. The collection includes armour worn by King Charles V and King Philip II. The palace's interior is a treasure trove of artistic and architectural masterpieces, from the opulent throne room, where monarchs held court, to the exquisitely decorated Gasparini room, adorned with frescoes by the Italian master. Each space is a testament to the skill of the artisans who created them. The Royal Palace of Madrid is the largest royal palace in Europe, and it is a monumental symbol of Spain's historical and cultural legacy. Perched atop the Red Hill, overlooking the sprawling city of Lhasa, stands the Potala Palace, one of the most iconic landmarks in Tibet. It is one of the highest palaces in the world, situated at an altitude of 3,700 meters above sea level, which adds to its majestic and imposing presence. Its white and red walls, visible from miles around, have witnessed centuries of Tibetan history, serving as the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas, the spiritual leaders of Tibetan Buddhism, and the center of Tibetan political power. Construction of this monumental palace began in the 7th century under the reign of Songtsen Gampo, the 33rd Tibetan king, who sought to create a palace worthy of his Chinese bride, Princess Wencheng. Over the centuries, the palace underwent numerous expansions and renovations, evolving into the sprawling complex we see today. The Potala Palace's unique location, high above the city, was not merely for aesthetic purposes. It served as a strategic advantage, offering a commanding view of the surrounding valley and protecting the palace from invaders. In the heart of London, amidst the bustling city's grandeur and energy, stands Buckingham Palace, an enduring symbol of the British monarchy. More than just a residence, it is the official London residence and administrative headquarters of the monarch of the United Kingdom. Its imposing facade, adorned with Portland stone and topped with the iconic royal standard when the monarch is in residence, has witnessed countless historic events, royal celebrations, and moments of national significance. Originally known as Buckingham House, the building was acquired by King George III in 1761 for his wife Queen Charlotte to use as a comfortable family home close to St James's Palace, where many court functions were held. It wasn't until 1837, when Queen Victoria chose Buckingham Palace as her official residence, that it truly became the iconic symbol of the monarchy it is today. Victoria's reign saw significant expansions and renovations to the palace, including the addition of the iconic East Front, which features the famous balcony, where the royal family appears for special occasions. Today, Buckingham Palace serves as a working palace, hosting state visits, investitures, and other important ceremonies. Situated on the scenic island of Lovön in Lake Mälaren, just outside Stockholm, Drottningholm Palace stands as a prime example of Swedish royal architecture and heritage. The history of Drottningholm Palace dates back to the late 16th century. The original palace, constructed in the 1580s for Queen Catherine Jagellon, was destroyed by fire in 1661. Later that year, Hedvig Eleonora, the widow of King Charles X Gustav, commissioned a new palace on the same site. The palace's design was influenced by French Baroque architecture, reflecting the tastes and styles of European aristocracy of that era. Drottningholm Palace is an architectural masterpiece, blending Baroque and Rococo styles with later neoclassical influences. The central building of the palace showcases Baroque architecture, with its symmetrical layout, grand facades and beautifully adorned interiors. The rooms are richly decorated with tapestries, paintings and stucco work. Designed in the French formal style, the gardens at Drottningholm are adorned with geometric flower beds, fountains and statues. The surrounding English landscape park offers a contrasting naturalistic style with winding paths and picturesque views. From its origins in the 17th century to its current status as a royal residence, the palace embodies the grandeur and cultural richness of Sweden's royal heritage. We travel now eastward to Russia, a land of vast landscapes and imperial ambitions. Here, on the shores of the Gulf of Finland, we encounter Peterhof Palace, an architectural marvel often dubbed the Russian Versailles. Commissioned by Peter the Great in the early 18th century, Peterhof was intended to rival the opulence and grandeur of the French court. Indeed, the palace and its sprawling gardens stand as a testament to Peter's desire to transform Russia into a major European power. The palace's golden domes and spires glitter under the northern sun, while the cascading fountains of the Grand Cascade create a symphony of water and light. Peterhof is a spectacle designed to awe and inspire, a symbol of Russia's imperial might. One of the most striking features of Peterhof is its intricate system of fountains which operate without the use of pumps. Peter the Great, fascinated by hydraulic engineering, designed the system himself, using gravity to draw water from natural springs and propel it through the elaborate network of fountains. Our journey through the most magnificent royal palaces now brings us to Italy, where the Royal Palace of Caserta stands as a testament to the ambition and artistic genius of the Bourbon dynasty. Commissioned by King Charles VII of Naples in the mid-18th century, the palace was intended to surpass Versailles in both size and splendour. And indeed, the Royal Palace of Caserta is a masterpiece of Baroque architecture, a sprawling complex of over 1,200 rooms, 1,742 windows and 1,200 chimneys. A grand staircase leads up to the main entrance, flanked by statues of lions and crowned with a monumental clock tower. The lavishly decorated royal apartments include the throne room, the king's apartment, and the queen's apartment. Each room is adorned with frescoes, tapestries, and ornate furniture, reflecting the grandeur of the Bourbon court. The grand water features include the Fountain of Diana and Actaeon and the Great Waterfall, which are fed by the Carolino Aqueduct, another of Vanvitelli's engineering feats. In the heart of Bangkok, a city teeming with life and vibrant energy, lies a sanctuary of exquisite beauty and profound historical significance, the Grand Palace. This sprawling complex, a testament to Thai craftsmanship and artistry, isn't just a palace, it's a city within a city. Construction began in 1782, under the reign of King Rama I, the founder of the Chakri dynasty. Over the centuries, successive kings have added their own embellishments, resulting in a breathtaking fusion of architectural styles that reflect Thailand's rich cultural heritage. The palace complex now covers an area of 218,400 square meters and is surrounded by 4 walls, stretching 1.9 kilometers in total length. Within its walls, ancient rituals and ceremonies are still meticulously performed, preserving traditions passed down through generations. The Emerald Buddha, housed in Wat Phra Kaew, is a statue of great religious and historical importance. The statue is believed to have originated in India and has a long and storied history. Often referred to as the Grand Palace Hall, Chakri Maha Prasat is a striking example of European influence on Thai architecture. Designed by British architects, it combines traditional Thai elements with Renaissance-style architecture. In the outskirts of Vienna, nestled amidst sprawling gardens, lies Schönbrunn Palace, a masterpiece of Baroque architecture and a testament to the grandeur of the Habsburg dynasty. The history of the palace dates back to the late 16th century, when the area was acquired by Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian II, who established a hunting lodge on the site. Schönbrunn was transformed into a summer residence under the reign of Empress Maria Theresa in the 18th century. The palace is a Baroque masterpiece, with over 1,400 rooms, although only 40 of these rooms are open to the public. The architectural design reflects the grandeur and elegance of the Habsburg era, with intricate details, ornate decorations and luxurious furnishings. Known for its extravagant Rococo design, the Million Room is panelled with rosewood and inlaid with precious miniature paintings from India and Persia, creating an atmosphere of exotic luxury. The Gloriette, located on a hill overlooking the palace, was built in 1775 as a focal point for the gardens. It offers panoramic views of Vienna and the palace grounds. A striking feature of the gardens, this large fountain depicts Neptune, the Roman god of the sea, surrounded by his entourage. It symbolises the Habsburgs' dominance over land and water. Edinburgh Castle is a national treasure of Scotland and the United Kingdom. Perched on Castle Rock, the site has been inhabited since the Iron Age. A royal castle has stood there since the reign of David I in the 12th century, serving as a royal residence until 1633. In the 15th century, the castle's use as a residence began to decline, transitioning into a military barracks and housing a large garrison by the 17th century. Its significance as part of Scotland's national heritage has been increasingly recognised since the early 19th century, leading to numerous restoration efforts over the past 150 years. Our journey takes us to Aleppo, home to the citadel of Aleppo, a fortress standing for over 2.5 millennia. Rising from a man-made hill, the citadel dominates Aleppo's skyline, a testament to its rich history. Traced back to the 3rd millennium BC, it's one of the oldest castles in the world. The citadel has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, enduring countless sieges. Its strategic location made it a coveted prize for rulers from the Hittites to the Ottomans. Each empire left its mark, creating a blend of architectural styles. The massive gateway, a masterpiece of medieval engineering, is designed to withstand assaults. Its entrance is reached by a steep winding ramp, overlooked by defensive towers. Inside, it's a labyrinth of courtyards, barracks, palaces and mosques. We journey eastward now, to the land of the rising sun, to explore the ethereal beauty of Himeji Castle. Located in Hyogo Prefecture, this magnificent structure is considered Japan's most spectacular castle and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Known as the White Heron Castle for its elegant, white-plastered walls, Himeji Castle is a masterpiece of Japanese castle architecture. Its graceful curves and soaring roofs a testament to the artistry of its builders. Unlike European castles, which often relied on brute strength for defense, Himeji Castle employed a sophisticated system of concentric moats, baileys, and interlocking gates to create a formidable defensive network. Its labyrinthine layout was designed to confuse and disorient attackers, while its strategic location atop Himeyama Hill provided commanding views of the surrounding plains. Himeji Castle's history is as captivating as its architecture. Originally built in the 14th century, the castle has been expanded and remodelled over the centuries, each successive lord adding their own unique touch to its design. Remarkably, Himeji Castle has survived intact, spared the ravages of war and natural disasters that have befallen many of Japan's other historic castles. Our quest leads us to Budapest, Hungary. Perched atop Castle Hill, overlooking the Danube River, stands Buda Castle. A symbol of Hungary's rich history, Buda Castle is a sprawling complex. The first royal residence was built in the 13th century, with major construction in the 18th century under the Habsburgs. The palace, with its grand facade and Baroque dome, rivals Europe's royal residences. The medieval palace was destroyed in the Great Siege of 1686, when Buda was captured by the Allied Christian forces. In the heavy artillery bombardment, many buildings collapsed and burned out. Between 1749 and 1769, the palace was rebuilt to the impressive Baroque palace occupying most of the site today. Our journey takes us now to the heart of the Alps, to the picturesque city of Salzburg, Austria, where perched atop the Festungsberg mountain stands Hohensalzburg Castle. A testament to the power and wealth of the prince-archbishops who once ruled Salzburg, Hohensalzburg is one of the largest and best-preserved medieval castles in Europe. Its imposing white walls, towering above the city, seem to grow organically from the mountain itself, a breathtaking blend of nature and human ingenuity. The castle's origins date back to the 11th century, a time of political instability and religious fervour. Over the centuries, Hohensalzburg was expanded and fortified, becoming a formidable fortress capable of withstanding even the most determined sieges. Its strategic location, commanding panoramic views of the surrounding valleys and mountain passes, made it virtually impregnable. Our exploration of the world's most impressive castles leads us now to the United Kingdom, to the historic town of Windsor, home to Windsor Castle. This majestic residence, steeped in history and tradition, has served as a home to British monarchs for over 900 years, making it the longest occupied castle in Europe. Its imposing silhouette, a familiar sight on the skyline of Berkshire, is a symbol of the enduring power and prestige of the British monarchy. Windsor Castle's story is intertwined with the history of England, from the days of William the Conqueror to the modern era. It has witnessed coronations, weddings and state occasions, each generation leaving its mark on this grand old castle. The castle's architecture reflects this long and varied history, a blend of styles from Norman austerity to Victorian grandeur. Within its walls, Windsor Castle houses priceless works of art, exquisite furniture and historical artifacts, a testament to the accumulated wealth and taste of centuries of British monarchs. Our journey takes us now to the heart of Europe, to the enchanting city of Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. Dominating the city's skyline, perched atop a hill overlooking the Vltava River, is Prague Castle, a sprawling complex of palaces, churches, gardens and courtyards, a testament to the architectural and artistic ambitions of generations of Bohemian kings and Holy Roman emperors. Prague Castle is said to be the largest ancient castle complex in the world, a labyrinth of cobblestone streets, hidden courtyards and soaring towers, each turn revealing a new vista, a new architectural gem. Its origins date back to the 9th century, but the castle has been expanded and remodelled over the centuries, reflecting the changing architectural tastes and political fortunes of its rulers. One of the castle's most striking features is St. Vitus Cathedral, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, its soaring spires piercing the Prague sky. Our quest for the world's most impressive castles takes us now to the Indian subcontinent, to the state of Rajasthan, where, perched atop a sheer cliff 400 feet above the city of Jodhpur, stands Mehrangarh Fort, a magnificent example of Rajput military architecture. Mehrangarh is one of the largest forts in India. Its massive walls, intricate carvings and imposing gates, a testament to the power and artistry of the Rathore dynasty. Mehrangarh Fort's origins date back to the 15th century, when Rao Jodha, the founder of Jodhpur, chose this imposing site for his new capital. The fort's strategic location, commanding panoramic views of the surrounding Thar Desert, made it virtually impregnable, allowing the Rathores to rule their kingdom for centuries. Within its formidable walls, Mehrangarh Fort is a labyrinth of palaces, courtyards, temples and museums, each telling a story of Rajput valour, chivalry and artistic patronage. We go back to England, to the White Cliffs of Dover, where, perched atop the iconic cliffs overlooking the Strait of Dover, stands Dover Castle. Often referred to as the key to England due to its strategic importance, Dover Castle has played a pivotal role in the defence of England for over 900 years. Its imposing silhouette, a familiar sight to travellers crossing the English Channel, is a symbol of England's resilience and determination. Dover Castle's history is intertwined with the history of England, from the Roman invasion to the Second World War. It has witnessed countless sieges, battles and invasions, its walls bearing witness to the ebb and flow of history. The castle's architecture reflects this long and tumultuous past, a blend of styles from Roman fortifications to Victorian artillery defences. Our final destination takes us to northern Poland, to the town of Malbork, home to Malbork Castle, the largest castle in the world by land area. This massive brick fortress is a testament to the power and ambition of the Teutonic Knights, a medieval German Catholic religious order that ruled over Prussia for centuries. Malbork Castle was originally built in the 13th century as a small fortress, but it was expanded and fortified over the following centuries, becoming the headquarters of the Teutonic Order and one of the most formidable castles in Europe. Its strategic location on the Nogat River, surrounded by marshes and waterways, made it virtually impregnable. The castle's architecture is a stunning example of brick Gothic style, with soaring towers, intricate details, and massive defensive walls. The castle complex is divided into three main parts: the High Castle, the Middle Castle and the Outer Castle, each with its unique function and architectural features.